Hi, my name is Mark Matea. I am the founder of Burrito Brands Incorporated. I started a flagship product called Leaf Burrito in my front yard, basically out of concern for putting plastic bags out on the curb with yard waste. And I ended up with a tarp, put it out there, rolled it up, and it looked like a burrito. So I ran up the streets to talk to the garbage guys and basically said, hey, I know you don't take tarps, but I'd like to help you throw this into your truck. So they agreed to do that, and then the aha moment came about where we said, hey, we need a tarp. And then I figured out, working with the city of Charlotte, that you needed something a little more small and manageable. And then later on came the mesh design. So now we have a super heavy-duty, durable mesh reusable yard debris bag with a patented design that starts off flat. And then it folds in towards the middle, and then you zip the belly up, and you zip the short sides up. And what you do is you leave this on the curb, and the city of Charlotte will curbside empty this for free, just like a garbage can would, where they empty it, unzip it, and throw it back on your yard. What is a leaf burrito? A leaf burrito is a reusable yard debris bag that is made out of durable mesh and heavy-duty zippers and handles. And basically, it came up with the idea starting from a tarp design and figuring out the tarps were flimsy and they fall apart, they tear, and they are disposable and plastic and just not a good long-term reusable solution. So we needed something heavy-duty and super durable, and something that is not as big and bulky like a large garbage can would be, where you have to stack those up on your house and they collect with water, and that's good for mosquitoes. And so you need something more manageable. So think of like reusable grocery bags, for example, where you bring in a bag, and instead of using plastic bags, you're using a good durable bag to take out with you. So the city of Charlotte had a large problem with collecting yard waste, and the only solution that we had was either garbage cans or plastic bags at the time. So it turned out that the plastic bags are actually very bad for the environment, very bad for the composting facility. They gum up the machines and they fill up with water. And so what happened is we had a debagging facility in Charlotte, and then eventually there was a huge cost to separate these bags manually. So along comes the next solution, which is they do the plastic bag ban, and they suggested to use paper bags. So these are even more clumsy, more expensive. They break down in the rain, they fall apart, they look terrible on the streets, and then they're about 50 cents, maybe more each, and they're extremely limiting. You can only fill them up so much, and then you're supposed to roll them up and then use another one and then put a whole bunch of them out there. And these are obviously single-use products. So this is just not a good solution. So we invented the Leaf Burrito, which is a reusable yard debris bag. Holds about 3 to 4 bags worth of paper bags worth of debris. You leave it on the curb, it's porous, so it's heavy-duty mesh. It lets it breathe. This is good for the composting facility as well because the material doesn't rot before it gets to the facility. And the drivers it's more ergonomic, which is a super important factor. The yard waste guys can come pick this up, and they can either have 2 people for it. It has handles on both ends, or there's 5 handles total. And basically what the process is, they unzip this, dump it into the truck, and throw it right back in your yard. There's a patch on there that has your address on it, so for easy identification. And then the best part is the homeowner can bring this back to the side of their house and fold it up like a bath towel. So it folds up very small. It doesn't collect water, so no mosquitoes, and you can hose it off and reuse it over and over. And we claim for at least it's a 10+ year bag, and this is a long-term sustainable solution. So the Leaf Burrito was invented in Charlotte, North Carolina, and also produced here in the United States in Charlotte, North Carolina, right here in this factory on South Boulevard near the light rail. And basically what we do is we start off with a heavy-duty custom-made mesh. It's our own custom design. We took an existing mesh, and then what we did is we thickened it up and beefed it up more and more, 4 different iterations. And so now basically it's tear-proof. So even if I cut this, you cannot rip it with your bare hands. And so that's the whole durability starting component. Next big piece was the thick, heavy-duty straps that we use, and these are made actually by YKK. And YKK is a zipper company out of Georgia, and that brings us over to the secret sauce of our product here, which is a double-sided zipper, and this is a heavy-duty 10mm YKK zipper. And so basically what this does is it's called a no-lock zipper. So this is important. that means that you can pull the thing open and it will not lock. Whereas like a pair of jeans, for example, would lock. So this is important for the yard waste people to be able to empty the burrito quickly. So what they can do is just pull on the sides of it, empty it right into the truck. And it just makes it a lot more sturdy. This is also UV coated boat canvas quality, right? So this would be the similar quality. So if you think of a heavy duty boat canvas, and then you turn that into mesh, that's basically what this product is. This is heavy duty. Like I said, this is not a cheap tarp. This is not a disposable thing. This is a 10+ year product. And again, all of these are manufactured right here in Charlotte, North Carolina in our factory. And we are able to custom print them. We have 2 different colors. We have gray mesh and we have black mesh, and then we have some red handles and gray handles as well. And we'll be expanding our color lines down the road to meet possibly different city colors, for example, in Ohio or other cities. So for right now, our leaf burritos come in green strap with black mesh, and they're good for landscapers. We have a 5-foot size, we have a 7-foot size, and then we also have tote bags. So those are great for carrying in and out for gardening and small spaces in there, or for tools or anything else. So, and then we also have this new product called the Basora bag, which is basically a trash bag that can be put onto lawnmowers, the back the back side of a car seat in the back. So those are really great, and just even for picking up trash for the landscape industry and such. So again, everything is made here, right here in Charlotte, invented here, made in Charlotte, USA, North Carolina. So who needs a leaf burrito? Basically, anybody doing landscaping, gardening, yard work at your home, or as a career, any kind of garden work for harvesting, for example. So basically what happens is you can cut your grass, you can throw this and lay it down flat. So that's the secret sauce of this. It starts off flat. You can throw everything right onto it, such as grass clippings. Then you can drag this and slide it over. Now you can do some weeding, and you can put any kind of loose debris on there. And then basically the last process is to fold it over, and then you zip up the 5 zippers, and you drag this out to the curb if you're a residential person, or if you're a landscaper, you can do hedge trimmings, for example, and you can collect all your debris from throughout the yard. And the idea is to kind of component orient the bulk. So what we're doing is we're filling multiple bags, and that way the transporting of this debris and material is easy versus throwing everything into a back of a truck, for example, or into plastic bags, or trying to cover it up with a tarp, which of course looks terrible. So the landscaping, it just shows the sustainability because it's a reusable bag. So we completely eliminated tarps as well as burlaps. So burlaps are supposed to be a solution, but the problem is they cut up your hands, they get wet, they get nasty, and they basically decompose quickly, and they get muddy and everything else. So this product, you can hose it off, and it's incredibly durable. So we have landscapers literally around the whole world using these. We sell these as far as Singapore, Australia, Hawaii, Canada, and primarily in the United States. And we deal with universities, so facilities management. We have resorts, hotels that are using these, especially for indoor horticulture, which is important, especially when you're moving around, like in, say, a hotel, for example, where you have a elevator that you have to go down. You can't get dust all over there. So we actually even have a lined burrito where we put a liner on the inside so that the dust won't fall out, like in the elevators, for example. So really, it's a great use for residential, commercial, everything. For the residential or landscaper side, we can actually put your logo on the side of the bag and in single color and white color, and it's really good for branding, and it just really shows just your commitment to sustainability, as well as it's quite honestly a great little advertisement. You can put it on the side of the curb when you're working on a job, and it's just more signage for people to be able to see. And again, we make everything right here in Charlotte, North Carolina. So you can do small orders, which is great. You don't have to do a large order if you're going to custom brand them. And really, it's just a great durable product that we're selling all over the whole country, and it's just taken off huge. So let me tell you why the leaf burrito is so critical for landscapers. Everything is about time management and doing things efficiently and fast. And sustainably now is important. So being eco-conscious, not using tarps, not using plastic bags. So basically what happens today is that everyone does what I call shuffling. So they shuffle the debris around, they move it around, And then ultimately they ended up throwing it on tarps, and then they drive down the road with a big tarp over the top of the truck, which does not look good. So really what this thing is mostly about is saving time, component orienting the yard. So for example, you can put out 4 burritos in 4 corners of the yard, fill all this up. At the very end of the exercise, you're putting your zero-turn mower back on the trailer, and the last thing you do is just collect all your burritos. And they're sitting on your trailer. Nothing's falling out of them or flying out of them on the road, for example. And at the same time, you're eliminating all of your tarp expense. So one of the biggest problems in landscaping companies is it's always, hey boss, need more tarps. What happened to the tarps I gave you yesterday? They ripped. Well, why did they rip? Because we overloaded them and then we drug them on the ground and then they ripped. So again, they bring these tarps back. Immediately these things are being thrown right into the dumpster, and that's just a recurring expense that every landscape company gets frustrated with, of just waste. So that's where the durability comes in with leaf burritos. And just for example, Duke University had replaced all of their tarps and their burlaps with leaf burritos, and they actually chose to use the 5-foot leaf burritos for safety reasons. So a lot of their landscape crews are 55 and older volunteers, and so what they wanted to do was also help make sure that they maintained a controlled volume of debris so they weren't overlifting, for example. And so now Duke University is using these all across the campus. We did custom brand it for them. This looks fantastic. So it's really important for the alumni to see all this as well, sustainability. Another example is Kentucky. They did the same thing. They're big into their own composting. These things fit great on the back of gators, which are basically UTV, almost like golf carts with a bed on the back of them. And then we had another great success story in Hawaii with a company called Ultimate Innovations that outfitted all 4 islands in Hawaii and completely eliminated all their tarps. Hawaii actually had a plastic bag ban, which even helped their decision further. And that's basically what we feel is coming around the whole country, is different countries, municipalities, colleges all start moving away from plastic bags. This is the perfect heavy-duty solution, long-term, durable, just great product tool, actually. And it's a total game changer for the landscape industry, for sure. All right, so why did we make leaf burritos in Charlotte, North Carolina? Well, basically it started off with the idea was invented here. I live here. I invented it right in my front yard. And basically we wanted to have control over this product versus outsourcing this overseas, for example, where you completely lose control. There's a huge time delay. There's a problem. And just like now, there's a huge shipping issue with supply chain. So you can't count on anything coming from overseas. And then if, for example, if you would order something, it would arrive here and the quality wasn't perfect. Now you have to basically send it back or reorder again, which could potentially take up to 4 months. So we decided to stick our feet in the ground here in Charlotte, North Carolina. We ended up scoring this incredible opportunity to be in the old Mecklenburg County Library here on Scaly Bark at 101 Scaly Bark Boulevard, or Scaly Bark Road, I'm sorry, at South Boulevard. And we were able to get this great 5,000 square foot building. And we just started bringing all of our own supply in. We got our own sewing machines. We started hiring employees. And it's going to be a great job opportunity. We're right off the light rail, so we can do flexible hours. And we can have all the control, and the creativity is the most important piece, is we'll be able to control what we want to do next. And so, for example, we're able to release new products. We have a whole new line of burrito brand products that we have in the pipeline right now that are going to be released. And this gives us the flexibility to instantly turn around ideas. So if somebody said, hey, I need a pocket, I need an extra handle, I need a strap, I need whatever it may be, a customization, we're able to go do that right away without having to call some kind of a supplier or third-party vendor and say, hey, can you please do this? And then we have to do documentation and all that kind of stuff. So really having control of your own business is so critical. And that is why Made in the USA is so critical for this whole thing, because this is not a cheap tote bag, for example, that is coming across that is just disposable for one-time use. So it's really important that we can make everything right here. And again, creating more jobs, the more bags we sell, we can keep scaling. We just keep buying more sewing machines. We can go into second shift. We can go into third shift. We can start working on weekends, and we could literally use this building 7 days a week, which is absolutely huge. And then eventually we could have multiple buildings. So there's no reason we couldn't open up additional buildings, let's just say on the north side of town, or even perhaps in a different city, because it's a very easy model to just kind of replicate. We're basically a cut and sew shop along with some screen printing. And again, it gives us full control over doing this and having just a great product, again, made here in the USA, which is a really, really, again, important factor in all of business today, just for everybody being able to count on good quality and delivery and everything else. So we're super excited about it, and lots more to come about Burrito Brands Incorporated.